Good day, midday on April 30th, 2020. Want to talk about a few things. Let's see. Let's get a Chrome tab. All right, there we go. First thing, Chesapeake Energy. Basically, a few months. Disclosures: I hold no licenses. Nothing I do or say should be considered any investment advice. Do your own research. First of all, I guess one of the big things is Chesapeake Energy looks like it's finally sliding into Chapter 11. Few weeks ago, within the last few weeks, they did a reverse split 1 for 200. They were trading for about 20 cents a share. So after split, that would be like $40 a share. Up until about 3 o'clock yesterday, it was trading at $30 a share, so pre-split would be like 15 cents. But in the last 24 hours, it came out that it was rumored they possibly might finally file Chapter 11 at some point. They got an interest payment due July 1st, which probably has a 30-day grace period, which means if that happens, they would have to file before July 30th or be in default. And then there's another one due August, which they probably won't get to. They already, on some of the classes of preferred, or I think all the preferred, eliminated all their cash payments. The preferred is cumulative, but of course, if they file Chapter 11, it's not going to make it anyways. Most of the bonds are trading like under 20 cents on the dollar, implying that the preferred is worth nothing, and also the equity is worth nothing. And even in a Chapter 11 reorganization, that the bonds are all going to take various reductions in the reorganization plan. The way the market's acting now, it's almost like they expect it to bankruptcy filing to be imminent. However, unless something else is going on that's really making the situation dire, I expect they simply just not pay anyone and stack up revenue, and then basically default on their July 1st payment, and then, of course, file before the end of the grace period, which would be around July 30th or 31st. USO seems to be doing a little bit better. They went through an 8-for-1 split. Basically, it traded as, $2. This chart showing here is actually... Is it showing? Well, the chart's adjusted for the split, but not the 52-week low of $2.11. So basically, you multiply that by 8, and you'd be able to compare it. So basically, after this split or reverse split, that would be the same as trading for $16.88. So it's not too much off the low. And they've also readjusted a bunch of their contracts. So they've got stuff now going out all the way till July or June of 2021, instead of just holding the current month or two rolling forward. However, probably long term, it still doesn't save, but it just makes it so it can stagger along for several months longer instead of getting stopped out. Especially if it ends up oil prices go negative on or around May 15th, as the June contracts would come to an end and have to be rolled over. So there's probably not much of a trade left in USO anymore. The big trade would have been a few weeks ago when oil prices went negative and they had that big cost of rolling everything forward. Now it's just in a standard where, every time they roll a month forward, they incur all kinds of expenses for doing that on the contracts, and it just slowly eating up the fund. Tesla came out with a surprise earnings yesterday, although I guess anyone that watches it, it's not really much of a surprise since they seem to engage in all kinds of stuff. Not still a little ways from $1,000 a share. However, the market cap's over $100 billion, so it looks like Elon's going to get his big payout of somewhere around $750 million in stock options, basically, shortly. Also, people are complaining about how they did their earnings report, where it seems like they've got all kinds of receivables they're carrying on the balance sheet. Plus, it's also questioning with people being shut down for several weeks, how in the world could any of this really be considered a real profit? And other people have pointed out that they burned another several hundred million in cash for the quarter. So basically, the profit they're showing is really just an accounting thing. It's not really on the balance sheet. Let's just see if there's any. Market's down 341 at the moment. I actually expected from the overnight reporting of Microsoft and Facebook giving favorable that the market might be up. However, of course, the day's still not over, and we can always hope for the 330 ramp. I guess it wasn't as bad as a few hours ago, so this is sort of like the mid-afternoon slump, although it does seem to be off the lows. Maybe with a little bit of luck, the market might actually end the week over 25,000, which is kind of incredible considering that most businesses have been shut down for several weeks. And that is all at the moment for the midday.